Hey everybody, Daniel Ramsey here with MyOutDesk. Now this is a crazy one. We've never done this before and I'm really excited because, well, to be frank, this is a black hole for a lot of companies. It's a black hole. Today's podcast is on influencer marketing. We've got an expert. Arlen is going to break down every single step in the process, what it is, how to do it right, what systems you need. And as always, we never, ever, ever are going to have somebody who thinks they know what it is. We're going to bring somebody who is an expert. This guy spent 20 years in software as a service, and he is going to love on us about how to create influencer marketing and really help you grow and scale your business. So listen up. We've got Arlen Robinson. He's the Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of OmniStar Interactive, and they have a company called OSI Affiliates, and it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining. If you like this or any of our other stuff, please subscribe. Hit below, hit the subscribe button. As always, we appreciate you, and we hope to help you grow and scale your business. Hey everyone, Daniel here, and Arlen, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to hear more about you and your company, but more specifically, exactly how you help people create influencer marketing systems inside their business. So thanks again for being here.
Yes, not a problem, Daniel. I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm always excited to impart some things that can help businesses these days because, as a business owner, I know the pain and the struggle, and there's so much out there, so much information out there. A lot of times it's hard to know what to do and, get some clear, actionable strategies and tactics. And so I definitely want to do that today. But before, kind of get into the affiliate and influencer marketing, just give a little bit of background on myself. I've been in business over 20 years now. And so I'm kind of a dinosaur in the game. I started in the year 2000 running a full service web development agency with my business partner, Tyreek Jeter, who is a buddy of mine that I went to college with. And, we came out of school, and during college, we kind of tossed, or we're both computer systems engineers. So we have a technical background. And so the internet at that time, this was like the mid to late 90s. And so that's when the internet was really just taking shape. And so we knew this was going to be something. And so we knew we wanted to be on the leading edge of it. So out of college, we both actually worked for some different consulting firms out of the Northern Virginia area, right outside of DC. As I went to school at Howard University in Washington, DC, we both did. And outside of the DC area, not a lot of people know that the Northern Virginia area is really kind of a big tech hub. It's a lot of technology companies, a lot of consulting firms. And so I worked for a consulting firm for a couple of years, and my business partner worked for another one. And, on the weekends and at nights, we were burning the midnight oil, the midnight candle oil for a while, putting together the plans for, what's now OSI Affiliate Software at the time was OmniStar Interactive. And we were really a full service web development agency. And we did that for several years and decided to eventually create our own suite of web solutions, because over the years, we saw that the internet was really kind of starting to mature a little bit. And the customers that we were dealing with really had more needs than just having a basic plain website with no interactivity into it. And so we were getting customers that wanted, mailing lists, e-commerce, live chat, you name it. So we had a variety of solutions, and the affiliate software was one of them. And, we provided these web solutions for a while. We were kind of an early SaaS company. And we decided to really, after, probably 5 years in doing that, we decided to really pivot a little bit and focus really entirely on the affiliate software, because that was the software that really took off. It was the one that kept selling year over year. The revenues were increasing. We really wanted to go kind of full speed ahead with that. We closeted the other solutions, and, been going strong with the affiliate software to this date. And it's, as Daniel, and probably many of the listeners or viewers know, referral marketing these days is huge. I mean, you can't think of any company these days that doesn't have some type of referral program or, affiliated program. And so it is where it is at. So it's kind of a quick little background on myself.
I love it. When I think of affiliate marketing, I'm thinking of a multi-level marketing, thing and so
Yeah.
I just, for the audience, I want to break it down. What does it mean to be an influencer marketer or an affiliate marketer who's focused on getting referrals? Like can you just define that for the audience? And then, as you're defining it, I really want to understand, when should I, as a business owner, add this layer into my business? At what revenue trajectory?
Great. Well, that's a great question. I appreciate that. Before I dig deep into that, what I want to do is define really what's the difference, because I've tossed around a couple of the terms you did as well.
Yeah.
Affiliate marketing versus referral marketing. What is the difference? There's a lot of people
Yeah.
kind of use them interchangeably, but they are two distinct types of marketing
And
activities.
what about influencer marketing? I mean, let's do them all. Like,
Yeah,
let's describe them all, man.
we'll definitely do them all. So first off, we'll start with the referral marketing piece, which is
Yes.
something that I kind of mentioned. Many companies have referral programs. Now, when you're talking about a referral program, it's a program where a company will get their own customers to refer, typically people that they know, their friends and family and colleagues, to that business for an incentive. And
Right.
usually the incentive is free product, discount on future purchases, and those types of things. Because a referral program not only is it's in place to help a business increase their sales, but it also can foster customer loyalty. Because if you're referring your friend and you know that you're going to get a discount on future products, that's going to keep you as a customer, because you're getting that
Right.
discount, you're going to keep purchasing, or you're getting free
Sure.
products. So it's a kind of a loyalty play as well. So that's really what a referral marketing is. Affiliate marketing, on the other hand, these days, and I will describe affiliate and influencer marketing kind of under the same description, because these days I think influencers are really almost the same thing as an affiliate,
Okay.
in a way, because when you're talking about an affiliate program, you're talking about somebody that is not a customer of yours, that has their own audience or following, and that audience and following can be on social media, it can be within an organization where they have a set amount of followers. It can be just whatever ties they have to a specific network where they have followers, and because of that following, that's where they are attractive, when that's where they can promote your business. But of course, these influencers or affiliates are people that typically have not used your product or services. They're
Mm.
not customers of yours, but they're going to promote in exchange for an incentive and a commission. And with these influencers and affiliates, typically the commission is going to be a cash commission. Usually it's like a percentage of an order total, or it's a fixed amount, or some type of agreed upon, monetary a reward that you agree with. Now, the influencers or an influencer marketing, influencers, it's kind of a newer term these days, and it was really kind
Yep.
of birthed with the whole explosion of social media.
Right.
And I was watching something online the other day. Paris Hilton now has a YouTube documentary now on YouTube Originals. And so I was watching a little bit of that. And she mentioned something about that she was really almost the first influencer that you can really think of. And I thought about it. And I'm like, I think she's right. Yeah, she really was almost the first influencer, because, she checks all the boxes as far as an influencer. She had, of course, a
Following.
audience in place,
Yep.
right? And she really kind of exploded after that show that she had, The Simple Life, I think, with Nicole Richie. And so she really exploded in the whole social media scene. And because of this explosion of followers, she was able to really act as like a spokesperson or sponsor for so many different brands. And she
Right.
had that audience. And so when you're talking about influencer, really you were talking about somebody that really has really a larger level of followers and access to a really larger network. And I would say that's really kind of what you think of when you're thinking about influencers.
Yeah. One of the things that you said in there that got me kind of curious is, you said that you pay a fixed amount. Now, most people who approach us, and I'm a business owner, we have a large audience, large following. So we get people all the time. I want to be an affiliate. What they want is reoccurring revenue, meaning they introduce a client and they get, $50 a month or $25 a month. And we, as a company, we decided a long time ago to cap it, and we pay a referral program of $400 to our existing clients. And then we give a referral fee or an affiliate fee if somebody who's not associated with us sends us, and we just call it $400. But how do you price your affiliate program? Honestly, this is the first interview with an affiliate marketer that we've ever had on the show. So I'm curious if we screwed up ours, should it have been like $40 a month forever, or is the $400 one-time fee the right route? And how do you decide as an entrepreneur or a business owner?
Okay, that's a great question. And before I answer that and dive deep into that, I want to go back into what you had asked earlier, as far as, because a lot of businesses are wondering, they heard what I said about an affiliate program, referral program is something they probably were thinking about implementing. You talked about kind of what stage do you try to implement that?
Yes.
And there's really no better time than the immediate time. Straight out of the gate, I would recommend, even for a startup company, you can launch an affiliate program really at any time. I would say for a startup business, you would want to launch an affiliate program, because at that point, you don't really have hardly any customers. You may start getting customers, and at that time, as you start growing your customer base, you can then launch a referral program, because you're getting customers that are loyal. They're going to start naturally talking about your brand anyway. So naturally, a referral program will be something that you want to ease in down the line as you start growing your customer base. But as far as the affiliate program, you can launch that immediately, because you want to get immediate exposure. And especially if you have access to an affiliate or an influencer that has an audience already, that's what you want to do, because you want to get that immediate exposure. So that's really the timing for it. Now, as far as the referral, the incentive, of course, for an affiliate program or referral program, that's really a good question, because a lot of customers that use our software and people in general are just wondering, what do you pay? Now,
what's the formula? Actually, that's
exactly.
the question. What's the formula that is exactly right for the person who's giving the affiliate relationship and for the company? That's the curiosity, is what's the formula?
Yeah, exactly. And a great question. And I'll use your company as an example as far as a service-based business, and then we'll talk a little bit about a customer that's selling a product. So in your example, you're provide a service, and it's a recurring fee. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so what you guys have done, you had mentioned you give a $400 one-time commission for the referral, and that is something that is definitely an attractive amount, because when you're looking at that, the thing that you want to do as far as coming up with the incentive and as far as figuring out what to do and how to attract people is you want to come up with a number that is higher than any of your plans or your payments or the structure that you have. So for instance, let's say that, I'm just using this as an example. Let's just say that your fees are, maybe you have monthly plans. Let's just say you have a plan that's $40 a month. Now, if you have a plan that's $40 a month, what you want to do is you want to come up with a number or a value that if you're on the fence as far as like a percentage or a fixed amount, you want to come up with the higher of the two. So you could say, okay, we want to give a 10% commission of the $40, but that's a smaller amount. It would be better to say, we'll give you guys a fixed amount of, let's say $20 or something like that, where it's going to be a larger value to that actual end customer than to say a lower commission. Because when they see the 10%, that's just seeing that 10, it's a psychological thing. They're thinking, okay, if it's a lower value, I'm not going to, that's not a whole lot to me. So it's kind of a numbers thing. You want to think about it as coming up with the value that is, the higher of the two, with whether it's the percentage or it's the fixed amount. Now, going
And do
back
you
to you
use
guys,
10%? Do you use 10% as like the kind of the guideline of whatever your monthly service fee is?
10% is always a good starting point. That's kind of what a lot of our customers do, as far as if they're thinking about a percentage of an order total. 10% is a good starting point. But what you want to do is you want to look at competitors in your space, see what some other companies in your space are giving away. And yeah, you want to see if you can add some gravy to that. You want to get a little bit higher. Can you do 15? Can you do 20%? Because you definitely want to be, competitive in the space. Now, with what you guys are doing, usually what I've seen for you, and you guys are a little different. You're not. It's not. You're not. Would you consider your guys a SaaS company, or how would you guys categorize your company?
We're a staffing company. We just happen to be a virtual staffing company. So all of our folks are in the Philippines. We have about 1,200 folks that report every day to help businesses like yours, tech companies, real estate companies, service contractors. They're leverage for those businesses. And our monthly fee is about $2,000. So your math's not totally off. 10% of 2,000 is $200. We doubled it, and that's like our number, right? And so your math's not crazy. That's kind of what we did in our head in terms of a calculation,
Gotcha. And that's good. That's good value. And I see where you guys were going with that. A reason I was asking about, as far as a SaaS company, one of the things that we suggest, and I think that one of the things that is kind of typical for service-based or subscription company, where you're paying a recurring fee for, let's say, a software service, typically a recurring commission is really what's kind of standard and what we see. That's what we do for our own affiliate program. It's what a lot of software service companies do. It's an ongoing recurring commission, either for the life of the customer, and that's really what's typical, or for a set amount of time, whether it's a year, 2 years, or whatever. But to stay as competitive as possible, if you're a service-based subscription company, and you're charging a customer, an ongoing fee, you want to see if you can give a recurring commission on an ongoing and lifetime basis if you can. That's really what's recommended.
What's the number then? I mean, because a lot of the reason SaaS companies can is because your margins are so high. You guys have good margins, as a business. So like, what's a normal, if you're in IT, and we serve a lot of SaaS companies as customers, but what's a normal affiliate number that's reoccurring, just on that example of a $40 a month kind of service fee? What would you give?
Oh, as far as an ongoing recurring fee, I'll give you an example of kind of what we do, because that's kind of in the price points of what we do. What we wanted to do is be a little bit more attractive to it. So what we do is we do a 20% commission. It's a little higher than the 10%. Our plans start at $47 a month, and then they go up to, our highest plan is $247 a month. So we do 20% across the board regardless of the plan that they give. And so that's kind of our sweet spot. One thing that I will note as well is, just because I'm kind of stating these numbers, and of course this is not something that's an end all be all for every company. One thing that you do have to keep in mind is that as you launch your program and you get approached by affiliates and influencers, you're going to get people from from all walks of life that have a varying amount of followers and networks. And so you're going to get some people that you're going to have to pay us a higher commission, just because of the value that they bring, and just because of the amount of, just because of the amount of customers that they can bring, and the amount of their network. So for instance, if you had Paris Hilton promoting your brand, you'd have to do something a little bit special for her, as opposed to, having somebody that may have just tens of thousands of followers on your average social network. So that's what I mean. You really do have to do some customization when you're getting approached by the different affiliates and influencers, based on what they can bring. And they're going to demand certain things immediately. And so you'll be able to see, what's kind of common and typical.
I love it. So let's talk through so let's say you get approached, you've set your pricing plan up, you want to kind of do this influencer affiliate marketing. What are some of the things that a business needs to have in place in order to make this successful? Like, what are the things that, nobody really talks about, but you being in the industry and been around forever, when a company has these 10 things, they're really successful. When they have 5 of the 10, they have a mediocre resort. And if they have none of them, that, they're never going to get anything. What are those 5 or 10 things that you should have in place as a company to do this influencer / affiliate marketing?
Gotcha. Yeah, great question. And there's definitely a lot of things, but I would, get it down to, 3 to 5 things that you definitely want to have in place to be successful with it. No, the first thing is once it's launched, the one thing that you want to have in place is proper exposure of the program, because, it's just like anything. If nobody knows that you have it, they're not going to sign up. You're not going to get the right affiliates. You're not going to get the right influencers. So the proper exposure for the program, and that can be done several ways. And this is with regards to recruiting an affiliate or recruiting an influencers. And so I'll give a couple of examples of ways to get exposure. Number one, of course, it's got to be made prominent on your website that you have that available. So people need to be able to easily navigate to it and clearly see what you offer and have them be able to easily sign up. Secondly, what you want to do, and we'll focus now on just the influencers or the affiliates. So you want to have that prominently on your website because, believe it or not, influencers, they're going to be looking around. They're looking for opportunities as well. They're going to be looking for keyword searches for certain things, affiliate marketing program, and let's just say attached to a certain brand. So they may be looking for, let's say you sell earbuds, some wireless headphones. So an influencer or somebody that's an affiliate may be doing keyword searches for affiliate program, wireless headphones. So they're searching for all of these. And so if you're not ranking for that, you don't have the proper keywords, and you don't have the proper content for that, you're not going to come up. So that's number one. Definitely want to have the content out there for your program. Secondly, one of the things that you can do to get proper exposure and to actually reach out to find affiliates and influencers is do your own due diligence and your own searching across the social networks. And I'll give an example. We talked maybe a little bit earlier about Instagram. Of course, Instagram is a huge platform right now that specifically influencers are really making a killing on these days because they're promoting, so many different brands. And, they're getting brands exposure on Instagram, but you can use Instagram to actually find influencers. And so let's just say, for example, you are a fashion brand. And let's say you're located in the Chicago area, for instance. One of the things that not a lot of people utilize with Instagram is the search feature, and the search feature with regards to searching for hashtags. And I gave a webinar about a year or two ago, and I was doing some searching just to kind of prove my point, where let's say you're a fashion brand in Chicago. If you do a search for hashtag Chicago fashion blogger, which is typically a hashtag that would most likely be used by somebody that's a Chicago fashion blogger. That's a specific term. Not everybody is dropping that particular hashtag in their posts. So, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to get people that are either bloggers, they're talking about Chicago fashions, and they have some type of following. And so when I did that, I think at the time, at least 5,000 results came up of people that use that hashtag. And so you can use that hashtag to find out specific influencers that are doing posting on different terms that are related to your brand. And that Chicago fashion blogger is just an example. So if you're in another particular industry, you can do something similar to that. You just tailor that for your particular needs. And that's another way you get influencers. And you can do that same type of thing across the board of the different social networks, not just Instagram. You can do hashtag searches across these days on Facebook, Twitter,
everything.
LinkedIn. Exactly. and do the same thing. And so getting that proper exposure, finding the influencer is definitely the key thing. The next thing is what we talked about earlier, is offering that proper incentive. Because if you're too low, if you're offering, let's say, a 5% commission, or it's just totally out of the range in what the influencers or affiliates are expecting, they're going to walk by it and they're just going to pass you up. So you definitely want to make sure, you have the right incentive in place to be able to track them. And then when you're thinking of the incentive, you do have to be mindful of your competitors. So if you have competitors that are offering affiliate program, see if you can sweeten the pot a little bit and offer something a little bit higher than what your competitors' affiliate programs are as well. And so proper affiliate program is definitely necessary. Let's see. Thirdly, you want to be sure that you have the right technology in place to manage everything, because I mentioned, of course, getting this going, of course. And, we talked earlier before we started recording, there's a lot of brands out there that kind of, quote unquote, say they have an affiliate program, but
and they don't.
Yeah, they really don't. They don't have a back-end engine in place. They just have maybe a VA, or they have somebody on their team that's just tracking these sales that are referred by people that have, quote unquote, signed up for the referral program, but they're just doing it via spreadsheets.
Right.
And they're manually tracking it, manually getting the commissions out. That can be done, but it's not recommended, especially these days. There's so many solutions out there, such as ours, OSI affiliate software is a great solution if you don't have it. And you want to have something in place that's going to be able to allow you to effectively manage the process from the sign up to the tracking to the dashboard that you provide to the affiliates. You want to have all of this in place because, as you grow your base of affiliates and influencers, when you're talking about, you're dealing with maybe initially, a few hundred people, and then it starts to grow. You can't effectively do that just with spreadsheets and manual.
And OSI, do you guys track the payments as well? Because I mean, our process right now is very labor intensive for our accounting company, because we literally 20% of our business comes from referrals. So I'm kind of curious, like, what's best practice around, tracking this stuff and then paying the influencers?
Great question. Yeah, so tracking it and paying them is something that is typically in place no matter in most affiliate software solutions, including ours, where of course it'll be able to track, of course, the referred sales via a special link that you're going to give the affiliate, and then there's code, of course, that goes into the shopping cart, usually on the thank you page, and that's what our technology does. We have code that goes on the order thank you page, and it's able to track if somebody has come from an affiliate link. Now, as far as the paying, and then it calculates the commission. As far as paying out the commission is concerned, what you want to do is, you definitely want to get a solution that's going to allow you to easily do that. We have a direct tie-in with PayPal, and which is common. Most affiliates are comfortable receiving payments via PayPal, so that's one method. And we have an integration where you could actually pay out directly to PayPal your affiliates, and so that's usually tied in. Other solutions have other ways of paying out. That's something that we're actually developing now, other tie-ins to other direct payment systems. One of the big things these days is the Cash App. A lot of companies, a lot of businesses use the Cash App, and a lot of people just generally use that to accept payments. So that's something that you could do as well. As part of your sign-up process, you could actually sign up and actually require your affiliates to provide their Cash App ID and just use that as a method of payment. So
what about the contractual piece? Because I know with our programs, we ask that the clients sign some stuff and that we have a way to pay them. And like there's, we're in California, so you got to track everything. And over a certain dollar amount, you got to get a 1099. Does your system take care of all the administrative paperwork that's required?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, with our system, we actually have an optional terms of service acceptance on the sign up page. So most our customers create their own wording, their own verbiage, or their legal legal P's and Q's on that document that people are accepting. And it's pretty simple. It's just upon people filling out the sign up form, they can click to view the terms. And then it just states there's a checkbox there that says upon signing up, you're accepting these terms. So that makes it pretty easy. And those same terms that the company comes out with is definitely something that, if they want to provide to the affiliates outside of that sign up, they can. But yeah, it's definitely recommended that you have clear terms so that they're clear as to what they're going to receive, when they're going to receive it, the things they can do and the things that they can't do as far as promoting your brand. So it's definitely important.
Now, do you suggest that you get into a relationship where you're having this guest blogger, create some content also, and then use your code inside of that content? Like, are you collaborating typically with your influencers and creating that content and then driving them to the referral codes?
That can definitely be done. And yeah, we do have customers that do that type of collaboration with bloggers. And as I was saying earlier, you can kind of take it as a case by case basis, because as you start recruiting and as you start promoting, you're going to get some heavy hitters, some people that have a bigger network and are going to expect a little bit more as far as being able to promote. And what I've seen, and one of the things that we recommend doing, if you do get, let's say, a high-powered influencer, one thing that you can do is you can create some type of co-branded landing page for them. So on your site, rather than that influencer just sending people straight to your homepage, which, in a way, you can do that. That's not a problem with doing that. But when you're talking about a high-powered influencer, you want the people that they send your way, to kind of be reassured that there's a relationship in place there, that, they're dealing with you. So when I'm talking about a co-branded landing page, let's say in the case of, let's say you're selling wireless headphones, you could have a page that has details, of course, about your brand, about your product there. And then let's say, Daniel, let's say you're the influencer, and you're the influencer.
Watch out.
Sending, people through to this landing page. What you could do on that page is we could maybe have a little bit of information about you. You can maybe have a picture of you, a logo, where it's co-branded there, where the people that are going there are a little bit more comfortable. They can say, oh, okay, great. They have a more solid relationship with it. Daniel really recommends these headphones. I see him straight there on their website. I see his face. I see his logo. It's a little bit more reassuring there for those types of influencers. So that's one of the things that we recommend. So yeah, co-branded content collaboration is definitely something that you can do, in those cases.
Love it. I guess my last question, and then we'll wrap up, and I really appreciate your time today. But my last question is, like, if I signed up for your service, would you help me build a network of 1,000 influencers who are constantly pushing my content out and pushing our products? Or how does that work? How do I go from no influencers today, other than our internal clients, our clients who love us, they send us a ton of business, but no outside third-party influencers? How do I get those guys, like 1,000 of them, to sign up for our program and rock and roll? Like, that's the real, now that I understand what you do you crack that nut for us too? Or are you going to help us do that too?
We can definitely help you with that. We, of course, primarily are a software company. We primarily provide the technology. But one of the things that we are in the process of finalizing right now is, I guess you could say, our version 2.0 of our affiliate influencer directory. We had a version of this that was around for several years, where basically it was a database directory of affiliate programs of our customers. And we were promoting this to influencers and affiliates. And that's a way to really attract attention to your program. We're getting ready to launch our next version of that in the next couple of weeks. And so that's definitely something that once you sign up, you can get listed there, you can get exposed to influencers, and in a short amount of time, getting more attention to your affiliate program. So that's definitely something that we help out with. Secondly, one thing that you can do these days to try to find influencers, and this is a strategy that we've recommended because there's been such an explosion of influencers over the years, is you can just try to look for an influencer network or influencer database. These days, there's a ton of companies out there that have influencer networks. An example of one is just influencer.com. It's a database where it is a paid, most of them are paid services, but the way that they work is they're an extensive database of influencers that are all categorized by the niches that they're in, their amount of followers that they have, the social networks that they promote on, all of the background information that you would need to make a decision on who to approach. The way these influencers work is, you can sign up for these, you can try to recruit them and, get them to join your affiliate influencer program. And the way that those influencer networks work is they act as kind of a middleman where you're paying like a monthly subscription fee, and they facilitate that relationship, and they give you the ability to get in touch with that person. So that's kind of how they work. That's definitely another strategy to try to reach a large amount of these influencers initially at once.
Now, do you see in typical companies, how I said last question, I lied. This is too good to stop. So I have more questions.
No problem.
So
no problem.
Do you see, in these large companies that you serve, do you see the PR team kind of owning the affiliate influencer marketing, or do you see the marketing team? And if so, like what systems in conjunction with your platform do you see these companies kind of working with in order to make this whole thing really successful?
Great question. Yeah, it's and a lot of it is going to depend on the size of the company, of course. What we typically see, though, is we typically see the marketing teams that really put full ownership on the affiliate program, because it is an area of marketing. We would consider our software as an e-commerce marketing solution, or just under the category of a marketing tool that can help you market and grow your business. So yeah, it's typically owned by the marketing department or marketing division of the company. PR division can also be another category of somebody or a group within the firm that would take ownership of it, because they're out there spreading the word for that particular brand. So yeah, we definitely see that. They definitely would have to have their hands on it. And with the marketing firm would usually, the marketing department usually has a person designated for, that's responsible for managing it, forming the relationships with the affiliates and influencers, and making sure everything is running, making sure the commissions get paid out. They also would deal with, when we're talking about commissions, they also would need to deal with the accounting department, of course, because the accounting department has to have, of course, knowledge of who's being paid, what period are they being paid for, who are these people. So yeah, marketing team and accounting team are kind of the two major kind of figures in the business end.
Got it. And the other follow-up question was, like, what other things do you need on top of your platform? Because influencer.com, I heard maybe something like Cision, which is a PR platform. You start combining these other systems on top of your platform, and maybe it gets better and maybe it grows faster. What are some, what would you add on top of your system in order to make this actually fast and very successful for a company that's never had one before?
Gotcha. Some other things that I would definitely add to our system, which is most likely the company is already going to have in place, is going to be an email mailing list system or platform for sure, because we actually have a tie-in to some of the top ones like ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Constant Contact, you name it. We did a lot of tie-ins. And when I say a tie-in, our integration with these platforms comes into play where when your affiliates or your referral partners sign up, you can get them added to a designated list on those mailing list platforms. Because the key thing is you want to maintain constant communication with these affiliates and these partners that you have, because the bottom line is, they have to be made aware of any changes that are going on, any new products that you've got coming out. Let's say you're changing the commission structure. You want to definitely let them know if you got a higher commission. And that engagement is definitely going to always keep you and your company top of mind. So just like anything else with an email campaign, you got to be top of mind, and you got to have a good email system in place to be able to facilitate that communication.
I love it. Arlen, thank you so much for being here today. You dropped a lot of knowledge, and I think if you're listening right now and if you're ever considered, thinking about an influencer affiliate program, I think you've got a lot from today's call. Arlen, what would you close us out with? Like, what's the one thing or what's the final wrap up you'd like our audience to have when they're considering a marketing platform like yours?
Great question. One thing that I do want to impart, as far as when we tossed around influencer program, I talked about the original influencer, Paris Hilton. One thing though I do want to kind of correct, because when people think of influencers, a lot of times these days, yeah, even though Paris Hilton is like maybe the original influencer, and she's like at the top of the level with the Kim Kardashians of the world and all
Yeah.
those other people that are, got millions and millions, almost billions of followers. Yeah, it would be nice to get that. But yeah, not every company has $500,000 to pay for an Instagram post or to pay a
Right.
referral fee. Yeah,
Right.
or even higher. So when we talk about influencers, an influencer can be of all types. So you don't have to just think about a celebrity or somebody that has millions of followers. An influencer really is really anyone. Me and you are actually influencers because we have our own networks. We have
Right.
our own followers of people that follow the things that we do, the things that we put out. And so you can definitely kind of break it down. There's really various levels of influencers, from just the regular local influencer, which would people that are in your local network that have, maybe just a few hundred or a few thousand followers. And even though these smaller influencers don't have, they're not as glamorous, they don't have the tens and thousands or millions of followers, the thing you do have to keep in mind with the smaller influencers, and they can just be as effective for your small company as, a larger influencers, because the level of engagement that these smaller influencers have. So
Yep.
when I talked about doing searches for these bloggers or influencers on Instagram, you're going to see all types. You're going to see bloggers and things and people or influencers that have maybe 5,000 followers, 3,000,
Yeah.
2,000. And you don't want to shy away from these guys because first off, you're not going to have to pay them that high of a commission of some of the larger people. It's a
Yep.
great way to get your feet wet. And the thing with these smaller influencers is they have a higher level of engagement than some of the larger people because they're smaller, they're dealing with a smaller network, and they have more time to be able to do a higher level of engagement and form a tighter level of relationships with their followers. And with that in mind, if they have a higher, tighter relationship, their followers are going to trust them a lot more. So they're going to have
Yep.
that anytime they pitch a product or recommend something, their followers are going to really, because of the relationship that they have, are really going to trust that. And you're likely to get, some more, a higher percentage of sales from these that have a smaller network. So I wanted to just kind of throw that in there just to correct that, just because a lot of times people hear influencers, they think of the highest levels of
Yeah.
influencers, and that's not the case. There's definitely a lot of opportunity outside of the big celebrities to,
Well, I
to get
figured you were
influencers.
going to be able, if I signed up with you guys, you'd be able to get me Paris, is what I heard. So I'm glad you clarified.
Not a
If somebody
problem.
would,
Let me.
yeah, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you guys and talk more and consider this, where would they go and how would they do that?
Oh, great question. And thank you, of course, Daniel, for the opportunity of being on your podcast. I really appreciate that. I love kind of helping enlighten and empower
Yeah.
small businesses and businesses of all size. But yeah, a great way to get in touch with me or to get to our website. If you're just listening, you want to go right to it. The easiest way to get to it is just go to getosi.com. That's going to take you right to our website, which is osiaffiliate.com. But you can just go to getosi.com. That's just a shorter way of getting to it. When you get to our site, we have a 15-day free trial across all of our plans. So if you just want to try it out, see if it's going to work for you, you can sign up. We have a customer success team that can work with you directly to actually get it set up. We have direct support that we provide via Zoom meetings. So if you want to schedule a meeting with a support tech, we can help you out and get it going for you even during the trial period. So I definitely recommend that you do that if you're thinking about launching your own affiliate program. And then lastly, if you want to get in touch with me and pick my brain anymore about, affiliate marketing, referral marketing, influencer marketing, or you want to get in touch with Paris Hilton, just reach out to me. You can actually get a hold of all of my social handles by just going to my website, arlenrobinson.com. And from there, you can take a look at all of our web properties, as well as get to all of my social handles from there.
I love it. Arlen, thank you so much again for being here today. Really blew my mind. This is a whole new world for MyOutDesk. So I really appreciate your time today and all the love and knowledge that you shared with our audience. So thank you again.
Oh, thank you, Dan. I appreciate the opportunity of being on here. And I'm super excited to see this get out there and go live to the world.